Hi, this is John Doe, aka Frags with the DNB Academy, and welcome to another sound recreation video. For this one, I brought you Gino's Jungle Dem, really cool jump up tune, and we're gonna be focusing on the main bass step that we hear throughout the first drop. Alright, so let's take a listen to it, and then we'll see what we came up with, right? So yeah, you probably already figured out which bass step I'm talking about. So yeah, now let's just tuck down the volume a little bit and hear this with the patch that we just made. So yeah, this is it guys. Let's dive into Serum and recreate this sound, alright? Right, so now that we got our Serum loaded in, let's start working on the patch. First things first, we're going to go to our analog basic shapes, and we're going to go into the square waves here, and we're going to select this one, alright? Then, we're going to turn on our FM from B, because that's pretty much how this patch is going to be. You know, it's going to be a lot around the FM from B technique. So we're going to put the random phase all the way down, and then we're going to turn on our oscillator B, which is really important. Okay, so then we're going to go to our digital wavetables and select sub bass 1. Right? It's a really cool and full of, as you can see, harmonics that's going to help us achieve this sound. So now we're going to bring our basic shapes all the way down to -3 octaves, and the level of our sub bass of our oscillator B all the way down. So this is kind of like what we have so far. Now let's start bringing in a little bit of our FM from B. Cool. Let's get this also random phase also down here. All right, that's kind of important. And now let's tune this to +7 semitones. Getting there. Now let's shape this oscillator a bit with some bend. And set it somewhere around here. I think it looks pretty decent. After we get that done, just going to turn on our oscillator, our sub oscillator in this case, and bring this down to maybe 2 or 3, kind of depends on where you want to go with this layer. It does quite a bit. Adding it in, so we're gonna just turn this 1 octave lower, you know, just to make it sure. So now we're gonna turn the level all the way down, because now we're gonna design the shape that's pretty much gonna, you know, lead the way for how the patch is gonna sound as well. All right. So first parameter we're gonna assign this to is the levels. We're gonna assign it here. We're gonna turn this all the way up, and also the same thing with the sub level. Right? We're gonna turn on the dotted, make this 2 notes dotted in trigger mode. Right? Now our goal is to kind of like replicate what we hear on the original sound, and so we need to kind of draw a sort of a shape that's gonna resemble the movement we hear there. So for that, we're gonna start by adding like a ramp down here. Can even turn this one off and bring this one all the way down. So we can start with something like this. We're going to slowly make another wobble. So we can hear it like dun 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 dun. We need to make sure we get that movement, not necessarily exactly like the original, because we want to always give our flavor to this. But for the purpose of this video, it would be cool if we get it as similar as we can. All right. So now we're gonna make another ramp here, something like this. I just tweak it a little bit. Nice. So it really doesn't sound that good at this point, because we need to do some filtering. It's really important, again, for these sort of basses. So we're gonna just go to our filters, to our MISC folder, and we can add the Formant 3. And as you can hear, already starting to resemble a bit more of our sound, even though it's not like massively, you know, there yet. So we're gonna also assign our shape here, bring the resonance higher spot, and also tweak our formant. That's cool. Let's turn on the drive. It's just a matter of tweaking the formant until you match what you want. Also tweak the wavetable position, even though it doesn't change much on this wavetable. You can see that. You see, it's not massive, but it does. And also the FM. So yeah, it's better. Now let's apply some effects to make this stand out a bit better, alright? Okay, first things first. Distortion, really important. For this one, I'm going to go with some soft clipping, alright? I'm going to boost the drive around here. It's not bad. So after the distortion, we're going to go into some chorus, right? Just to also kind of like softens up the sound and puts it in like in a core stereo range, alright? So let's bring this up. Now we're gonna apply some EQ to like start correcting some of the harshness we hear on our mids. We can just take away somewhere around like 600, 500 hertz. So it just sounds a little bit cleaner, and that's pretty much what we're trying to do with this chorus. Alright, next step would be adding some hyper as well, but we want to make it in this order. Alright, just bring this down, so we're going to just go with a little bit of dimension here. Cool. Now a little bit of filtering to wrap up the chain of effects, right? I'm going to select an MG low pass, alright? And we also gonna apply the filter like something like this should do the trick. You know, it's just softened up those harsher tops. Bring the drive a bit higher, like 6-7%. Now we can just turn the master a little bit to make this louder. And then we flip again to our main tab to do a couple of tweaks here and there, and some parameters that you can actually improve, like the bends. You see, it changes the sound quite a bit. So it depends where you want to go with it, all right? And also the cutoff here. Change the tone of the bass quite dramatically, all right? So to wrap it up, we're just gonna apply a Pro Cue to our patch here on after our Serum, all right? And with this Pro Cue, we're gonna basically kind of like try to tame some of these harsher spots, like here, you see? It's just a little bit. So we kind of want to highlight these parts, you know, and not so much. Cool. Just some tweaks like this will be enough, okay? So now, let's just take a listen to our patch and see how it sounds on top of the original from Gino, right? Let's go. So yeah guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!